This is quite interesting. ARMAN DABIRI, the counsel to the Biafran Republic government in exile, have written to Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE, directing her to immediately cease and desist from the unauthorized use of address, logo, insignias of the Biafran Republic government in exile, and likeness of Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile. That henceforth, Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE should desist in the use of unauthorized logos, insignias, address, and the likeness of the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile in all her publications, in all her address, and the representative of the Biafran Republic government in exile, since she has affirmed that she is no longer with the Biafran Republic government in exile. Now, this directive comes with immediate effect. That NGOZI parading herself as the Deputy Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra. So these are two different bodies and does not represent the parent body instituted by the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile. And as such, being the attorney or the counsel to the Biafran Republic government in exile, he has addressed Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE over the continued impersonification and the unauthorized use of the logos, the address, and the signals, whatever official document that has to do with the Biafran Republic government in exile. She should no longer tamper it, because that will be considered as a gross violation of the rights of an independent entity known as the Biafran Republic government in exile, which he happens to be the counsel or one of the counsels to the Biafran Republic government in exile. Well, this is quite interesting because in the most recent time we've seen some arguments and controversies, misconceptions and misrepresentations of facts. Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE has maintained that she is no longer, of course, with the Biafran Republic government in exile, that they have exited that, and where they are now is in the new dimension of the Biafran United States of Biafra. And what does this imply? If you have any legal documents backing your claims, then it means you have no right to continue to use the address, unauthorized use of address, logos, insignias, signs, or whatever official document that is of Biafran Republic government in exile, and the likeness of the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile. Now, of most recent, I begin to wonder. Of course, I've pondered over this development. When you consider the antecedents and circumstances surrounding this, after the summon of Simon Ekpa, you see that the Biafran Republic government in exile is the structure instituted by Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister. You see the attorneys, you see the lobbies were set in place by Simon Ekpa. You see the defense force or the security architecture of the Biafran Defense Force. These are part of the structures of Simon Ekpa. Now you begin to ask, why is NGOZI ORABUEZE at war virtually with all the structures, important sensitive structure of the Biafran Republic government in exile? NGOZI ORABUEZE is at loggerheads with them, not just with one particular sector or one particular strata. Now, NGOZI ORABUEZE is at loggerheads with the counsel to the Biafran Republic government in exile. NGOZI ORABUEZE is at loggerheads with the lobbyists hired by the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile. NGOZI ORABUEZE is at loggerheads with the cabinet member constituted by the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile. NGOZI ORABUEZE is at loggerhead with the Conflict Resolution Committee members or chairman of the Biafran Republic government in exile. NGOZI ORABUEZE is at loggerhead with the commanders, Biafran Defense Force and the rest of them. He never believed in any of these structures, in any of these bodies. Now, who is NGOZI ORABUEZE working with or working for? I don't know if you have taken your time to ponder over these things. You have accused the lobbyists, you have accused the attorneys or the counsels to the Prime Minister and the Biafran Republic government in exile, DABIRI, using all manner of delegatory words against them. Why these people are the ones that the Prime Minister has passed vote of confidence? He have hired them based on their character, based on their experience, based on their excellent performance and successes recorded over decades. They have been in the system. They understand how, of course, they have to play their own role in the actualization of the recognition of the Biafran government and the Biafran sovereign states by the US and other parts of the world. Now, you begin to disparage these people, calling them names for whatever reason that is not even justifiable. You accuse this one, you accuse this one, you accuse this one. Now, who is actually standing with NGOZI ORABUEZE? The main foundation of the Biafran struggle, set up by Mazi Simon Ekpa. If Mazi Simon Ekpa is out today, Mazi Simon Ekpa cannot do without the lobbyists, cannot do with the council, without the council or the attorney representing the Biafran Republic government in exile. And in most of the official documents, they are the signatories to these documents. NGOZI ORABUEZE is not part of the signatory to these documents of the Biafran Republic government in exile. Now, how comes NGOZI, who believes he is loyal to Simon Ekpa, all of a sudden begin to fight the main structure, the main parent body that even gave her the opportunity to become the chief of staff? She turned against it and never wanted it again. For whatever reason, best known to her. And that have, of course, raised some level of fear or doubts among the people, those who cares to ask questions and to reason beyond, of course, their nose, to reason with their brain. Why should NGOZI be fighting the formidable structure Mazi Simon Ekpa have set up? Mazi Simon Ekpa set up the committee or the cabinet, and they have been working with him all this while for more than 3 years or so. And eventually NGOZI ORABUEZE joined them after the other member of the CSO was suspended or dismissed for whatever reasons. I'm not dabbling into that. Now, NGOZI ORABUEZE is not in a good terms. It's not in good terms with the other cabinet, majority of the cabinet members. NGOZI ORABUEZE is not in good terms with the conflict resolution committee that has the right to resolve matters of discrepancy, matters of disputes. Even when, according to them, she was invited but turned down such invitations. These are people she was referring to when some members of the cabinet were asking her questions. Let us resolve this. He said, I refer you to the CRC, the Conflict Resolution Committee. But today, she has booted them off. Now, you begin to ask, why? What is the motive behind all this? The main structure, because if you are against the council to the Biafran Republic government in exile, if you are against the hired lobbyists, you think you are more wiser than they, you are more exposed in this process of litigations and the rest. You think they are gullible, they could be available for their senses to be manipulated. You think that they don't care about their integrity, their public perceptions, and the implications of them sabotaging the cause for which they are being called. You think you are more dedicated than they? Now, to make it worse, well, I understand, okay, it might not be out of place to have issues or to be in loggerhead with the cabinet members, but why the councils to the government? Why the lobbies hired on behalf of the government to do a very sensitive engagement? Now, why is she in loggerhead with the main defense structure? With the main defense structure, according to Simon Ekpa, it said that everything has been put in place, which one of the commanders also confirmed that what Simon Ekpa has put everything in place when it has to do with defense, security, and the logistics. What they needed is more logistics and the rest of them, for which money or funding has been raised. Whatever be the case, I'm not in the know. But then my interest lies in the public interest and to analyze and digest what exactly is playing out. Now, this will begin to compel any sensible and reasonable person to begin to ask questions. Who is this NGOZI ORABUEZE? She retained the chief of staff and arrogated by my own, because I've not seen any evidence that she was elected or went through the process of election to emerge as the deputy prime minister. If she was formerly the CFO and emerged as the deputy prime minister, she can't combine two things, two sensitive positions at the same time. Does it mean that the Biafrans do not have capable people that could handle one position, or the chief of staff, while she become the deputy prime minister, as she claims, by my own opinion? Now, that is another question to ask. Does it mean that the Biafrans are wanting, have run out of human resources, capable hands that could pilot such portfolios? Well, that is not where we are navigating to. Now, you fought the defense force, which Simon Ekpa was his strongest backbone. In fact, they were his strongest heroes. The strongest defense. You disparaged them, you called them online commanders, and the rest of them criminal kidnappers and the rest of them. Now, why fighting everybody? The main people who has been dedicated, committed to with Simon Ekpa, loyal to Simon Ekpa, playing their own part in the cause of realization of the Biafran Republic government, or the sovereignty of the Biafrans as they believe, you suddenly begin to fight them. You're fighting both the whites and your own people. Now, who should be right? Can all these people be wrong at the same time, and you're the only one that is in the right track? Now, that raises concerns and question. What, of course, raised my curiosity is when it gets to the defense force, because I occasionally listen to Simon Ekpa's broadcast and the rest of them. His emphasis, the way he emphasizes, the way the state of preparedness of the defense force to defend holistically, maximally, the territorial or the sovereignty of the Biafran state was so fascinating, was so exciting. You begin to ask, what could be in place? Why is it so proud? Why is it so confident? Does it so have repose so much confidence in the defense force and their commanders? All of a sudden, NGOZI ORABUEZE drop them, trash them to the dustbin. That is another question to ask. Who are you standing with? Now, if you said you have been making arguments that what you are is the United States of Biafra. If you are in United States of Biafra and you have distanced yourself from the Biafran Republic government in exile, which means you are no longer authorized under law to make use of the logos, the insignias, the address, official address of the Biafran Republic government in exile, and should no longer refer or the likeness of Simon Ekpa to be the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra. If you have discarded and rejected, you are fighting with everybody, then when do you build your own structure to begin the process of engagement and the rest of them, especially when it has to do with the defense force and the rest of them, diplomatic engagement? Very serious issue of concern. So I want to leave you with this development. Now that the attorneys or the counsel to the defense force or to the Biafran Republic government has written to NGOZI ORABUEZE, I hope she will understand the legal implications, because you cannot continue to impersonate a group or organizations which you are not representing and which you have publicly admitted that you are no longer part of. You say immediate cease and desist. Unauthorized use of address, logo, documents of the Biafran Republic government in exile, and likeness of Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoko. That is quite interesting. And now this is what, of course, partly the document or the letter reads thus. It says, it has come to our attention that you are using the address, logos, designs, stamps, documents, and currency of the Biafran Republic government in exile, and the likeness of Honorable Simon Ekpa Njoko. Okay, the Prime Minister, in your webcast, mailings, communications, electronic or otherwise, including but not limited to fundraising activities and other unauthorized purposes. Such actions, such actions are misleading, unauthorized, and may constitute violations of intellectual property rights, privacy laws, and deceptive practices. You can understand that. Now, again, in December of 2024, you notified my office in writing that you intended to file article, get it, you intended to file article of organization, so incorporation for a competing organization in state of Georgia on January 5th, 2025. You publicize the formation of the competing organization, and you are no longer a member. You are no longer a member of the Biafran Republic government in exile. That is the argument. This letter serves as a notice and formal demand that you immediately cease and desist from 1. Displaying or reproducing any official logos, insignias, stamps, designs, currency, or government symbols associated with the Biafran Republic government in exile, using Honorable Simon Ekpan Joko, Biafran Prime Minister's name, image, or likeness in any form without explicit authorization, using any address including that of the Biafran Republic government in exile or registered in the state of Maryland and the Prime Minister's office in a manner that falsely implies endorsements, sponsorship, or affiliations. This is the position of the attorney or the counsel to the Biafran Republic government in exile. And another one, engaging in any fundraising, communications, and promotional activities, reads, that exploits the Biafran Republic government in exile and the identity of the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Do you get it? Again, using any address, including that of the Biafran Republic government in exile and the rest of them, I think I have made it very clear. And he went further to say, failure to immediately comply with these demands may resort to legal actions, including but not limited to injunctions, monetary damages, and other remedies available under the law. This letter is sent without prejudice to any rights, claims, or remedies available under the application laws, and we reserve the right to take further legal actions as deemed necessary. So that is the end of that petition or letter written to Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE to desist and with immediate effect. And as she has incorporated a competing organization which is described as the United States of Biafra, so she, according to the legal counsel, has no right under any law to continue the use of unauthorized documents, logos, stamps, insignias, and the rest of them that is the intellectual properties or the legal documents of the Biafran Republic government in exile. That is quite an exciting moment, and let's get to know what is your own take regarding this development. And hopefully Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE has to respond to this development.